Yes, Comptroller. I like everyone else in the country, last Comptroller, I'm very disappointed with what's happened as well with the Children's Hospital, because, like Deputy Collins said, we had a motion here before everyone back in 2017, and the people that are jumping up and down now about the cost of the hospital, the projected cost of it now, didn't support us. Only 18 voted for our motion. We clearly told everyone, because we understood what was going on and we understood what was going to happen, that it would go over budget. But it's gone way more so than we even dreamt in our wildest dreams. But here we are now, and the minister is saying, oh, it is going to be good value anyway because we're going to have a hospital. He don't care. He don't care because he's not paying for it, Minister. And not had he his eye on the ball or the Minister for Finance either. I'll tell you what Minister Harris was watching all last year. He was watching abortion and making sure that he'd have abortion available for people the 1st of January. He didn't give a tuppenny damn about the hospital or any other thing in health either, like the waiting list or the people like they will take you up to the north that will go blind if we didn't take him up, and we're glad to be able to take him up and to ensure that the last days of their lives they'll be able to look around them anyway and see the world, because if they were depending on this government they'd be all blind. 24 or 25 buses, and we're taking up 3 buses again next month. But there's a whole lot wrong with the tendering process, whether it is for public procurement or for private procurement or whatever it is. They're in law and order in this country. Because when you think that a massive bill like this, that as far as I understand it, 5 companies qualified through the pre-qualification process where they needed to have such a turnover. And you see, when it comes down to it, out of the 5, maybe only 2 are interested. So they can talk amongst themselves and decide what price they put in. And that's what happened here, and that's what's happening in a lot of other of the bigger projects around the country, Minister. And then we have small companies. Talk about the small fellas that are companies around the country that are out every morning working for the bigger companies, and they don't get paid the end of their money. They go wallop, and then and they leave everyone. So many contractors got cut around the country, and especially in Kerry by one contractor that went down for 20 million. He cut hundreds of small contractors that did their work honestly and provided them in and provided the machines and did the work, and lo and behold, he went into receivership or examinership or whatever it is. He's working again, but the small fellas never got their money. They're in law and order. And I can go back to 2009 when many people in Kerry, and I have to say here, it could be construed that I have a conflict of interest because I got caught as well. And we looked to the Director of Corporate Enforcement. What did he do for the people? He did nothing. He did nothing for the small fellas that lost their money, and it was everything to some of them. Some of them went down and never came up again. And I struggled in 2009 and 10 and 11 because I got cut for a massive sum of money by these fellas as well. And we told the Director of Corporate Enforcement how much assets this contractor had, the principal contractor. What did the corporate enforcement man do? Nothing at all. He left the people stranded, and he is supposed to be a pillar of the law and enforcement in our country. The Director of Enforcement did nothing for the people in Kerry at that time and the other people that were caught. So, Minister, there is an awful lot of work to be done to ensure that proper and fair procurement processes are entered in our country, because it's not happening at the present time. And even some state bodies are looking for tenders now. When they tender out something, it is for 5 years. In all fairness, Minister, how can any small contractor look into some kind of a magic ball or whatever and decide what he can work for in 5 years' time? Because everything changes, whether it is prices of fuel our insurance, everything changes, but there's no care or no consideration to give to people who work hard and get out in the morning and do an honest day's work. They're forgotten about, and they're not being treated fairly in our country. Again, I say to you about the hospital minister shaming me for allowing what has happened to the taxpayers in Ireland, because it is the taxpayers that will have to foot the bill. But I can tell you one thing: they're angry and they're waiting for you, and they'll meet you when he comes to the door, and they'll tell you where to get off, because he have the whole country left down with this debacle, and he'll be remembered for it in 50 years' time, what happened, because he took his eye off the ball. He were more interested in abortion and all the other foolery, the tomfoolery that he were going on with, and that's where we are now. Let the taxpayers pay for your mistakes.